Okay, guys. Good evening. Thank you for coming. Hope you had a good day. So, as we told, we'll discuss. We'll do a small seminar on certain topics uh, that we think that is important, and secondly, it should be able. We should be able to cover it in a period of in one class, right? So I thought, okay, let's do equations, and so then it should be we should be able to do it within the 2 hours. Okay, so equations are very important topic in the syllabus. It comes in various different topics in graph, completing squares, and then in various small questions and all you get these equations. So we've been doing equations from grade 6. As in each year it keeps developing, and it comes to a point where we have come to a saturating point. And so I thought it's ideal to do this lesson today. So I would also like to know if anybody new has joined today. If you have joined, you can just put your hand up and we'll take note of that. Others, I have sent the tunes. I hope you have taken printouts. If not, just work from your screen itself. No problem. Right? So, shall we start? Are there any new people? Any new people? And secondly, also, I wanted to tell you all thank you again for all those people who made an effort to do the exam. Not an exam, a small test, a revision test, and the marks have come. We have it in place. Yes, yes, who is that? Okay. So the marks have come, and we have that in place. We'll be sending it to you all individually, separately, mentioning your marks, and then you should be able to see where your weaknesses are, right? And I'll try to send you the answers as well, so then that will be easy for you to check where you have gone wrong. Okay, so we'll start with equations. So what we are going to do in this lesson, we are going to learn to construct simultaneous equations with rational coefficients. So rational coefficients can be whole numbers as well as uh, fractions in coefficients. Then solve quadratic equation by means of factoring, completing the square, and using the formula. So we'll do all three. So we have got 11 pages. I'm sure you saw the number of questions over there. So we'll try to do as much as possible, right? So we want to cover the main part of the lesson. So as much as possible, we will try to cover up in the class today, right? So we'll start off by solving simultaneous equations. So when you do solving simultaneous equations, when do we use simultaneous equations? Is when you have two unknowns. Now, in a normal similar linear equation, if you have x plus 4 is equal to 10, then 4 is your x is your unknown. We just need to find the value for x. So we solve for x. So x is equal to, you take the 4 to this side, and 10 minus 4, x is equal to 6. So we just are finding the value for x, one unknown. But in a simultaneous equation, we have to find the value of two unknowns. Let's say 2x plus 5y is equal to 11. So you have two equations. We need to use two equations to find out the values of x and y. So we use the elimination method as well as the substitution method, right? So that is what we do in simultaneous equations. So we'll see how we're going to do that. We'll do it step by step. So solving simultaneous equations, there are two rules that you need to remember. Well, I know you guys are experts at this by now, but whoever is not, please follow. So the first rule, guys, first rule is when you have two coefficients, you have plus 6x and plus 6x. What is a coefficient? The number in front of your unknowns, and we'll take this as your first equation, this as your second equation, and if the coefficients in front of the two unknowns are the same and the sign is also the same, then what we need to do in order to make it zero, yeah, because we need to eliminate, we call this the elimination method. Elimination method. What we are going to do is we want to get rid of x, right? We need to get rid of x. So that means when the two signs are same and the coefficient is also same, then we subtract the two equations. That means 1 minus 2, 1 minus 2 is equal to 0. We want to eliminate, we want to make it 0. Right? Likewise, if you have minus 5y and minus 5y, you take this as your first equation, this as the second equation. Again, in order to do the elimination method, what do? We look at the coefficients again. Are the coefficients same? That's what the first thing we do, is to check that. Coefficients same, and then you go and check whether the signs are same. So if the sign is also same, again you follow the same rule. What is that? You subtract the two equations. 1 minus 2.
Yeah.
And you're getting 0. Right? So then that is your first rule that you need to remember. So look at the bottom of that tube. It says same coefficients, same sign, then subtract the two equations to eliminate or to get 0. Right? So that is your first rule. Rule number 1. Rule number 2. So now you must be wondering, what if the coefficients are same, signs are different? Right? So that is what we are going to do now. Coefficients same, signs are different. So you have plus 5a, this is your first equation, and you have minus 5a. Right? That's your second equation. Now remember directed numbers. Directed numbers, coefficients same, signs different. In order to make it 0, it's like this. Just look at this. Plus 1 and you have minus 1. So in order to make this 0, what do? You have to add the two numbers. So here plus 1 plus minus 1. This and this will cancel. You're getting 0. Same thing you apply here. Coefficient same, signs different. So then you subtract the two equations. So 1 plus 2 equation, you will get 0. This. Right? So coefficient same, signs different, you add. Likewise, minus 9b, first equation, plus 9b, second equation, coefficient same, signs different. So then what do? You add first equation, second equation, and you get 0. So these two rules are very, very important in order to solve your simultaneous equations. Okay, right? So that has been given in the tube itself. So no need to spend too much time to just have a look at this, and I'm sure you know it by now. Okay. Any questions so far? Any questions? Right? So this is the basic, simple stuff. They're never going to give you coefficient same, signs same. They are always going to give you coefficients different, maybe signs the same. So then is where the game starts. So we'll start off by doing a few questions which I have given over there. So let's look at the first one. First question says 6x plus 2y is equal to 1. Right? So question number 1. Question number 1. 6x plus 2y is equal to 1. This is your first equation. Then they are giving you 4x minus y is equal to 3. This is your second equation. Okay? Right. So, what do we do? First rule, always look whether the coefficients are same. 6 and 4, coefficients not same. 2 and 1, coefficients not same. So then what do we do? What do we do? So you have to either make the coefficient of x the same, or you have to make the coefficient of y the same. Either one of them you have to do in order to apply those two rules that we learned just now. Right?
X.
So the easy way out here is we know 2 and we have 1 here. So it's easier to make the coefficient of y the same. So 2 and 1y, what is the lowest common multiple? Because it's like doing fractions. When you subtract fraction, you have to make the denominators the same. Right? The same rule you apply here also. In order to subtract these two equations, you have to make the coefficient the same. To make the coefficient same, we have to find the LCM, the lowest common multiple. So, what is the lowest common multiple of 2y and y? Anybody? 2y and
2.
y, lowest common multiple?
2, sir.
2?
Yes, sir.
2. Good. So, we make 2 the lowest common coefficient the same. So, in the first equation, you already have 2. So, no need to touch 2 over there. In the second equation, this is 1. So, that means in order to make 1, 2, you need to multiply this equation by 2. The whole equation you need to multiply by 2. Okay? So, that means 4 multiplied by 4, 2 multiplied by 4x is 8x. 2 multiplied by minus y, minus 2y. 2 multiplied by 3, 6. So this becomes your third equation. Right? Okay? Right. So now 2y coefficient same. Signs in front of the two coefficients are different. You have a plus and a minus. So we have to use the second rule. What is the second rule? Coefficient same, signs different. So then you have to add the first equation and the second equation and the third equation. Sorry. First equation plus your third equation. Right? So first equation, you have this side 6x plus 2y plus 8x minus 2y is equal to 1 plus 6. Right? 1 plus 6. So 1 plus 6 is how much? 1 plus 6 is, we just straight away take this as 7. Okay? Right? Easy. Right? So this plus this, 1 plus 6, 7. Now you simplify. 6x plus 8x will give you 14x. 2y plus minus 2y, these two will cancel. you're left with 7. Right? Divide by 14. Divide by 14. X is equal to half. So you have found out X out of the two unknowns, X and Y. X you have found X is equal to half. Now what you do is you substitute this X that you found into one of these two equations. Yeah, and find out what is Y. Right, so we'll put it into the first equation. So 6 multiplied by X is how much? Half. So multiplied by half plus 2y is equal to 1. Okay, simplify this 2 and this 6 will cancel. You have 3. 3 multiplied by 1 is 3 plus 2y is equal to 1. Take the 3 to this side. We want to take 3 to this side. So minus 3. 2y is equal to minus 2. 2 divided by 2 on either side. You're getting y is equal to minus 1. Right? So x is equal to half. Y is equal to minus half. And especially in your exam, they very specifically tell give your answers separately. So separately means what do you need to do? You need to say therefore x is equal to half, y
Y equal minus 2.
minus 1. Right? Have to mention your answers like this. Okay? So just take that. I'll give you a minute to take it down. There's any questions? Okay? Can we go on?
Okay, sir.
Okay, good. Right. Let's go on to the third question. Huh? So we'll skip the second question. We'll go on to the third question because we are restricted for time. So we'll just take a wide, broad set of questions. We want to touch the different types of questions that we have. Right. So I want to do a word problem this time. Right. I want to do a word problem. So your third question. Right. So let's go through that question. It says Malini and Nalini have certain amount of money. When you add 30 to the sum of the amounts Malini and Nalini have, the total amounts to 175. Right? Nalini has rupees 95 less than twice the amount of money Malini has. Okay. Let X be the amount of money Malini has and rupees Y be the amount of money Nalini has. Okay. So, question number 3. Malini has got X rupees and Nalini has got Y rupees. So, this is our two amounts of money. Now what we need to do, go back to the question again and break the question into small parts. What they are saying is, when you add 30 rupees to the sum of the amounts Malini and Nalini have. So what does Malini and Nalini have? Rupees X and rupees Y. So the sum of that is X plus Y. And to that, if you add 30 rupees, then you get 175 rupees. So you're going to add 30 rupees to x plus y. Why x plus y? That is the sum of money both of these people have. You're going to add 30 and you're getting 175 rupees. That is your first equation. But before we write before we write the equation, you bring it to a form where x and y are on one side. So we will remove the 30 to this side, minus 30. So x plus y is equal to 145. This becomes your first equation. Okay? X plus y becomes your first equation. They are saying Nalini has rupees 95 less than twice the amount Malini has. So Nalini has 95 rupees less than twice the amount Malini has. How do you write this as an equation? How much is Malini? X rupees. So twice of that is 2x. And Nalini is got having 95 rupees less than 2 times what Malini has. So you need to find the difference between Malini and Nalini. So Nalini has got y, Malini is 2 times that. The difference is equal to 95 rupees. So this is how you need to interpret the equation very carefully. The difference that what Malini is having is 95 rupees less than 2 times what Malini has. So 2x minus y is equal to 95. This becomes your second equation. Right? So you have your first equation, second equation. So now we can straight away go to solve. So to solve, you have to look at the first two rules. Are the coefficients the same? Here coefficient is 1, this coefficient is x, 2. And here the coefficient is 1, here the coefficient is 1. So coefficients are same, signs are different. Coefficients same and signs different. What do we do, guys? We have to what?
Add.
You have to add the two equations. We have to add these two. So 1 plus 2 equation. Right? So x plus y plus 2x minus y is equal to 145 plus 95. So how much is 145 plus 95? 145 plus 95. 5 plus 5 is 10.
240.
240 rupees. Good. Now simplify. X plus 2x is 3x. Plus y plus minus y will cancel out is equal to 240. Divide by 3. Divide by 3. X is equal to 40. So we have found out one unknown. We need to find the second unknown. We just put it straight away to the first equation. Substitute x in equation 1. I'm just writing that for you so that you will remember. So we're going to take the x over here, put it into the equation 1 and find out what y is. So x is 40 plus y is equal to 145. Y therefore is, take the 40 to this side. So you minus 40 here. 145 minus 40 is 105 rupees.
Sir,
Sorry, is there something? Sorry, this is 80. Sorry, this is 80.
204.
Sorry, this is 80, 80, 80. Subtract 145 minus 80. And
65,
45
sir.
minus 80 is
65
65.
rupees.
65.
Rupees.
Okay, 65. So again, very clearly, what is X? Malini is X. So Malini has rupees. X is how much? 80 rupees. And Nalini has rupees Y, which is 65. Okay. See, a very simple question. I made a careless error. Just division 240 divided by 3, I put as 40. Very simple errors. These are the type of errors that you guys will also face because we know very clearly the answer, but for due to our carelessness, we'll make errors like that. So please be very careful. In easy questions only, we tend to take it very lightly and make mistakes. So be very, very careful. So this is your answer for question number 3. Right? So we'll move on from normal simultaneous equations. Just to do a small recap, in front of your coefficients, you will see that your coefficients are all whole numbers. All this time, we did 2 questions where the coefficient in front of your 2 unknowns have been whole numbers. Now what we are going to do is we are going to solve fractions where you have fractional coefficients. So your coefficients are going to be fractions, right? So let's see how we're going to do that. All right, good. So fractional coefficients. We just put a small heading. Fractional coefficients. And don't panic. It's the same way, same method. You do it slowly, you will understand. Right? So first question they are saying they are having 3 over 5 A plus 1 over 3B is equal to 3. And you have another which you have is 1 over 2A minus 1 over 3B is equal to 8. Right? So here you're adding 2 fractions is giving you 3. Here you're subtracting 2 fractions, you're getting 8. Right? Do it step by step. What is the rule? When you do addition of fractions, what is the rule? Your the denominator has to be equal. So you need to make these 2 fractions the same denominator. That's the first step that you need to understand. When you add fractions, always the denominators have to be the same. So you need to find the lowest common multiple for 5 and 3. What is the lowest common multiple for 5 and 3, guys? Quickly.
15.
15. 2 and 3?
6.
Good. Alright, so let's take it step by step. You're going to take this as 15. Right? 15 is your lowest common multiple. So this side of your fraction, you have 5 here. So 15 divided by 5, you're going to get 3. you have to multiply by 3. Right? So this side of your fraction, you have 3. So you need to multiply by how much? Multiply by how much?
5.
5.
5. Good. You multiply by 5. So 3 multiplied by 3a, you're going to get 9a. This side, 1b multiplied by 5, you get 5b is equal to 3. Now what do? We remove the 15 to this side. So that means you can straight away cross multiply. So you're going to multiply and get 15 to the numerator. So what are you getting? 9a plus 5b is equal to 45, first equation. Right? This side of your fraction, 2 and 3 common denominator, 6. You're going to multiply this side of your fraction by how much? 3. And this side of your fraction you're going to multiply by 2. Very simple. 1 into 3a, you're going to get 3a minus 1b into 2, you're going to get minus 2b is equal to 8. So same thing like what you did here, you just cross multiply and bring the 6 to the numerator. So now you have 3a minus 2b is equal to 8 multiplied by 6,
48.
48. This is your second equation. Okay? Clear? Any questions so far?
No, sir. No, sir.
Good. Right.
No, sir.
Now you need to check, follow that rule. Are the coefficients same? No.
No, sir.
Are the coefficients same? No. So then either you're going to make the coefficient of A equal or you're going to make the coefficient of B equal. Either one you're going to do. So the easy one is 9 and 3. What is your lowest common multiple for 9 and 3?
9.
9. So it is easier to just multiply this equation by 3 and make the coefficients same. So you're going to multiply the second equation by 3. So 3 into 3a is 9a. 3 into minus 2b minus 6b. 3 into 48. 3 into 8 is 24. 2 carry forward. 4 into 12 plus 2, 144. This is your third equation. Now check. 9a, 9a. Coefficient same. So all you do now is what? Coefficient same.
Subtract.
Plus 9a, plus 9a. You subtract the two equations. So what are you going to do? You're going to subtract. What I will do is, I'll take equation 3 and subtract equation 1. Why? 144 is bigger than 45. No? Right? So take equation 3 minus equation 1. Right? So 9a minus 6b minus 9a plus 5b is equal to 45. Okay? Clear? Right? So let's take the two 9a's. 9a cancels. How much you're getting here? Minus,
Sir,
yeah,
how did that 45 come, sir?
here 15 multiplied by 3, 45, no? Yes? Here, this 15, 5 and 3 lowest common multiple is 15, right?
Yes.
So 15 here, you have 3 here, so you're going to multiply by 15 multiplied by 3 is 45.
Okay, sir.
Okay, are you still confused? See, okay, I'll show it to you again. You have 9a plus 5b is over 15 is equal to 3. To remove this 15, what do you need to do? You need to multiply by 15 here and multiply by 15 here. So when you multiply by 15 on both sides, this 15 will cancel. 3 multiplied by 15 will give you 45. Got it?
Okay. Okay, sir.
Right. Now, 9a minus 9a will cancel out. Minus 6b, subtract. So, add the additive inverse. This becomes plus, this becomes minus. So, minus 6b plus minus 5b, you have minus 11b is equal to how much? 144 minus 45. 144 minus 45,
99.
99. Okay. Now you divide by minus 11. Divide by minus 11. B is equal to minus 9. Okay. B is equal to minus 9. Right? Now you substitute B into any one of these equations. So we'll put it into this one, to the first one. Substitute B in equation 1. Right? Substitute B in equation 1. Right? So B is minus 9. 9A plus 5B. You're going to put minus 9 here. So 5 into minus 9 is equal to 45. Okay? Right? So 9A, 5 into minus 9 is minus 45 is equal to 45. Take the minus 45 to this side. So you're going to have plus 45. So 9A is equal to 45 plus 45, 90. Divide by 9. Divide by 9. A is equal to 10. Okay. So you have B is equal to minus 9. A is equal to 10. So you need to show that separately. Say A is equal to 10. B is equal to minus 9. All right. Let's go through this. I'm sorry. If you had asked about that 45 that was over here, then you are right. You're wondering about that 45 over here. I wrote as 45 where it should have been 99.
Yeah, sir.
Okay, sorry about it. Okay, now I understood. All right. Okay. Any questions so far? Right, let's go on to do another question like this. Question number 3. This is question number 1. We'll do question number 3, guys. Right, question number 3. Let's do that. It says 2 over 7p minus 1 over 3q is equal to 5 and 1 over 2p minus 1 and 2/3 q is equal to 12. Right, so let's try to solve this. Right, so again, we'll start off by this side. We'll see what is the lowest common multiple for 7 and 3. So 7 and 3 lowest common multiple 21. Multiply this side by 3. So 2 multiplied by 2p multiplied by 3. This side of your fraction multiply by 7. So 1 q into 7 is equal to 5. So 2p into 3 is 6p minus 1q into 7 minus 7q over 21 is equal to 5. Now remove the 21 to this side. So you're going to multiply by 21 here. We're going to cross multiply. So you're going to multiply by 21. So 6p minus 7q is equal to 105. First equation. 7p minus 7q. Sorry, 6p minus 7q is equal to 105, which is your first equation. Go on to this side. You have 1 over 2p minus 1 and 2/3 q. So you have a mixed number there. So when you have a mixed number, convert it into an improper fraction first. Right? So 1 over 2p minus 1 into 3 is 3 plus 2. 5 over 3q is equal to 12. Now go ahead and find the lowest common multiple. This side 6, 2 and 3. So this side you multiply by 3. 1p into 3 minus 5q into 2 is equal to 12. Right? So 6 common denominator.
72.
1p into 3 is 3p minus 5q into 2, 10q is equal to 12. Like here, cross multiply. You're getting 3p minus 10q is equal to 72, which is your second equation. Right? So second equation, I'm going to take it to this side. So your first equation is 6p minus 7q is equal to 105 and 3p minus 10q is equal to 72, which is your second equation. Clear? Any questions so far?
No, sir.
Okay, right. Now, look for same coefficients. 6p, 3p, easy to make 6 as your common coefficient. So, you need to multiply this whole thing by 2. So 2 into 3p, 6p. 2 into minus 10q, 20q. 2 into 72, 144, which is your third equation. Yeah, 6p minus 20q is equal to 144. Right. Coefficient same, sign same, subtract. This is greater. So we'll take the third equation minus the first equation. So 6p minus 20q minus 6p minus 7q is equal to 144 minus 105. Okay. 6p minus 6p cancels. Minus 20q, this becomes plus. This also becomes plus. So minus 20q plus 7q minus 13q is equal to 144 minus 105. You are getting 39. Right? 39. Divide by 13 minus 13. Why minus 13? Because we want q as a positive value. So divide by minus 13. Q is equal to minus 3. Right? So Q is equal to minus 3. Now we need to find out what is P. So substitute Q into maybe this equation, first equation. So substitute Q in equation 1. Right? So 6P minus 7Q, that is 7 into minus 3 is equal to 105. Okay. So 6p minus 21 is equal to 105. Minus 21. So what do you need to do? Take the minus 21 to the other side. So 21 plus 105 is how much?
Hundred 26.
How much?
126.
126. Right. So you have a plus 21 here. So 6p is equal to 105 plus 21. 6p is equal to 126. So what's your answer going to be? P is going to be how much? Can you just double check? We just want to substitute correctly and see. Yeah. So 7 into minus p is minus 21. 6p minus 21 plus 21, 600. So 6p is equal to 126 divided by 6 divided by 6. P is equal to, is it 21?
No, sir.
Did we do an error somewhere?
Sir, 6p minus 21 is equal to 6p plus 21.
Sorry. It should be minus. It should be 84. Is it 84?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Divide by 84. 84 divided by 6 is how much is? 14.
14. Yes, sir.
14. 4 P is equal to 14. Okay. So therefore you can say P is equal to 14. Q is equal to minus 3. Sorry about that. Okay.
Why, sir, the minus 21 will be that side? Means it's become plus now, sir.
Sorry, plus 20. No, no. See, guys, the problem here is, I'll tell you why. See, 6p minus minus means you have to add it, isn't it? When you subtract directed numbers, you have to add the power, add the additive inverse. So minus becomes plus, this also becomes plus. Okay, guys, when you do subtraction of directed numbers, this plus becomes minus, minus becomes plus, minus 21 becomes plus 21. So the plus 21, when you move it to this side, becomes minus 21. Directed numbers.
Okay.
Okay. Right. So be very careful with this. Huh? I'll show it you. I don't know how to do it. I'll show it you like this. Okay. So this, when you put a minus here, always take this as minus 1. Okay. So this is 6p minus 1 into minus 21. That's how you need to look at it. This, when there is no sign number in here, you take it as a minus 1. So minus 1 multiplied by minus 21, you will get 6p plus 21 is equal to 105. Okay. Then when you take the plus 21 to this side, this becomes minus 21. And then you are getting 84. Okay. This is a subtraction, that's why. You please be very careful. I know, I understand your confusion, but directed numbers, you have to be extra careful when you deal with directed numbers. Okay? Deepak?
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Can we go on? So this part of simultaneous equations we are done with. We'll turn to the next page and we'll look at solving quadratic equations by factoring. Right? Quadratic equations by factoring. All right, let's look at solving quadratic equations by factoring. So what are quadratic equations? Quadratic equations take the form of ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. So this is the form of a quadratic equation. Okay, right? So remember very carefully, the value of a will always be not equal to 0. So it can't be a 0. Why? Because if a becomes a 0, then 0 into x squared becomes 0. 0 into x squared becomes 0. So then this becomes a normal equation. Okay, so we cannot have the value of a equal to 0. That is a very important rule in quadratic equations. So a quadratic equation is made up of an x squared term an x term and a constant, right? So this is what a quadratic equation looks like, and a cannot be a 0, right? So just a few notes to remember, right? Note 1, if you see in your cube, it says when you multiply any value by x, right, and you get a 0, so we say a x is equal to 0, right? Then if we want to find the value of x, what do? You keep x over here, divide by a, divide by a, and x will take a value of 0. Why? Because 0 divided by any number is always going to give you a 0. Likewise, if you multiply any number by a 0, then you're always going to get a 0. Right? So here, either a is going to be equal to 0 or x is going to be equal to 0. Either one of those terms will always be equal to 0. So for example, look at those examples we have given. 3x is equal to 0. Right? So then x is going to be what then? X is going to be divide by 3, divide by 3, x is equal to 0. Okay. Look at the next note. Note number 2. A multiplied by B is equal to 0. So this is the same thing I'm coming to over here. Either A is going to be 0 or B is going to be equal to 0. Because when you multiply one number by another number, and if you're going to get 0, one of these two numbers has to be a 0. Right? So you will always get two answers when you're doing quadratic equations. So let's see the different types of quadratic equations. The first type of quadratic equation is the form in this form. What is that? X squared plus 4x minus 8 is equal to 0. That is your first type of quadratic equation. You have a square term, x term, and a constant. Right? The second type of a quadratic equation you're having is you will have a square term and an x term. X squared minus 6x. This and this. The third type of quadratic equation is you will have a square term and a constant. This and this. So these are the three types of quadratic equations that you will have, and you will have to solve for them. Right? So we'll look at those three different types of questions in the review we have over here. Right? And see how we are going to solve them. Right? So when we say solve, we have to find the value of x. Okay? So let's look at the first few. Solve the following quadratic functions. Right? And first one, we look at it. X into x plus 5 is equal to 0. Right? So, by looking at it straight away, you can see x multiplied by x plus 5 is equal to 0. So, that means what? Either x is equal to 0 or x plus 5 is equal to 0. Either one of those two terms are equal to 0. So we are straight away, x is equal to 0 here. Or if x plus 5 is equal to 0, then x will be equal to how much? You take the plus 5 to this side, minus 5. So x is equal to minus 5. Okay. So x is equal to 0 or x has to be minus 5. Why? If you put minus 5 in place of x here, minus 5 plus 5 will be equal to 0. So just a substitution over there. Okay. Right. So that is your first type of quadratic. Then we go to the second type of quadratic. What is that? 3x into x plus 1 is equal to 0. So here either 3x is equal to 0 or x plus 1 is equal to 0. So solve for x, divide by 3, divide by 3. X is equal to 0 or plus 1 we take it to this side, minus 1. So x is equal to minus 1. So x is equal to 0 or x is equal to minus 1. That is a second type of quadratic equation. Third type, x minus 4 into x plus 3 is equal to 0. That's what they are given you. Right? So here either x minus 4 is equal to 0 or x plus 3 is equal to 0. Right? So we need to find out what x is then. X will be minus 4 will come to this side, x is equal to 4, or when plus 3 will come to this side, x is equal to minus 2. Got it? Okay? Third type of quadratic equation. The other one, x squared plus 7x plus 12 is equal to 0. Right? So now, what do we need to do? We need to factorize this quadratic equation. Yeah, we need to find the factors of this. So we know how to find the factors. You know? How do we do that? Take the first term, multiply by the last term. So x squared into 12 is 12x squared. Then find the factors of 12. What are the factors of 12? 1x into 12x will give you 12x squared. Then 2x into 6x will give you 12x squared. Then 3x into 4x will give you 12x squared. Okay. Then which two terms? Now what you do? You have to see when you add the pair of factors, it should give you your middle term. At the same time, when you multiply those two pair of factors, should give you the product of your first and your last term. That is this. So if you look at this, if you add these two, 3x plus 4x is how much? You get 7x. So first part of it is done. Then you double check 3x multiplied by 4x is 12x squared. Are you getting this? Yes. So both of them correct. Now what you do? You rewrite this. X squared plus 3x plus 4x plus 12. Okay? Factorize now. X squared plus 3x is x. X squared divided by x is x. 3x divided by x is 3. 4x and 12, 4. 4x divided by 4 is x. 12 divided by 4 is 3. Even once you have done this, make sure the two factors inside the brackets are the same. If they are not, then there's something wrong, right? here, both of them are same. So I'll just take it over here. So x plus 3 is one factor, x plus 4 is another factor, is equal to 0. Right? Now we can find out like how we got it over here. Now we got the two factors of this quadratic equation. So now find out the value of x. X plus 3 is equal to 0 or x plus 4 is equal to 0. So then x is equal to minus 3 or x is equal to minus 4. Understood? So step by step, you need to know how to solve these quadratic equations. Right? Any questions so far? Any questions so far? Okay. Any questions so far? Please take it down. Give me a minute. Okay, guys. So if there are any new people, you can join from next week. Please join with the team. You can send your give your names or whatever, and then we'll be sending you the truths going forward. Whoever is coming new, or the others, we go back into our revision papers next week. So every 3 weeks we will be doing a small test like that. So last week we did a test. Our marks are out. Some people have not done it, right? I have given an excuse this time, but I really want you guys to do each and every paper because it's an extra evaluation of your where you're going to stand in your exam. Right. So every 3 weeks there will be a paper coming out online. It's not going to be hard. It's 20 minutes. Sorry, 50 minutes. Please do it. Right. I don't want you guys to miss it. No excuses. Yeah, and any new people, please contact us on the numbers 746-8249. New people, whoever has joined, you can contact on this number and register yourselves. Okay. So all the people who did the exam, your marks will be sent to you individually by over the weekend, right? So please, you'll get it. Right. So I want to do question number 7, guys, in this review exercise. I want to do question number 7. It looks like a bit of a challenging question. So let's see how we can tackle that. Right. Let's go to question number 7. Question number 7 is 4 over x plus 3 over x plus 1 is equal to 3. So you're having an addition of two fractions which is equal to 3. So in order to solve this, first and foremost, addition of fractions, you have to find the lowest common multiple for two fractions. So what is lowest common multiple? You have to have your two denominators the same. So for x and x plus 1, we can take x into x plus 1 as your common denominator. this side of your fraction, that is 4 over x, you need to multiply, already x is there. So you need to multiply this side of your fraction by x plus 1. So 4 into x plus 1 plus this side of your fraction, already x plus 1 is there. So you need to multiply by x. So 3 multiplied by x is equal to 3. Right? Now simplify the numerators and denominator. 4 into x is 4x. 4 into 1 is 4. Plus 3 into x is 3x. And denominator x into x squared, x into 1, x is equal to 3. Right? Simplify the numerator, 4x and 3x. Like terms, you can add. So 7x plus 4 is equal to x squared, not equal, sorry, over x squared plus x is equal to 3. Take the x squared plus x to the numerator. What do you need to do? Cross multiply. Cross multiply, that's the easy way out. So 7x plus 4 is equal to 3 into x squared plus x. Right? Simplify. 7x plus 4 is equal to 3x squared plus x. Take everything to one side. So 3x squared plus x. 7x when it comes to this side becomes minus 7x. Plus 4 when it comes to the other side of the equal sign, minus 4 is equal to 0. Right? I'm just going to shift this to the top over here. So 3x squared plus x minus 7x, you're going to get minus 6x minus 4 is equal to 0. Okay? Right? So 3x squared plus 3x. Sorry, it should be plus 3x. No? 3 into x is 3x. Right? 3x squared. 3 into x squared is 3x squared. 3 into x is 3x. So take everything to one side. 3x squared plus 3x. 7x when it comes to this side minus 7x. Plus 4 when it comes to the other side minus 4. So 3x squared minus 7x will give you minus 4x minus 4 is equal to 0. Okay? Right? So solve the quadratic. 3x squared into minus 4 minus 12x squared. Factors of 12. 1 into x, 1x into 12x, 2x into 6x, 3x into 4x. Okay? We want to get minus 4x in the middle. So this has to be minus 6x plus 2x. Right? Minus 6x and plus 2x. When you multiply plus 2x and minus 6x, you're getting minus 12x squared. So you have to double check whether both are working properly. Okay, so then you take this pair of factors. So 3x squared plus 2x minus 6x minus 4 is equal to 0. Factorize. 3x squared and 2x common factor is x. 3x squared divided by x is 3x. 2x divided by x is plus 2. Minus 6 minus 4 Common factor minus 2. Minus 6x divided by minus 2 will give you plus 3x. Minus 4 divided by minus 2 will give you plus 2. 3x plus 2, 3x plus 2 is one factor. X minus 2 is another factor, is equal to 0. Right, so now find out the values of x. 3x plus 2 is equal to 0, or x minus 2 is equal to 0. So we want to find out what x is. Take the 2 to this side. So you have 3x is equal to minus 2. Divide by 3. Divide by 3. X is equal to minus 2 over 3. Okay. Or x minus 2 is equal to 0. So x is equal to minus 2 comes this side. You have x is equal to plus 2. So lengthy questions. So these are questions that you will have. Right? Be very careful because it's lengthy. Sometimes we will make mistakes in the calculations. Right? So be very careful in how you tackle these type of questions. Okay, so a few minutes, take 2 minutes, quickly take that down.
So why you choose plus 2x into minus 6x?
Which one?
That you box it out.
Yeah.
Plus 2x.
Okay. Right. So what is our main purpose in quadratic equations is when you factorize the product of your first term and your last term, you're getting minus 12x squared. You okay with that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then what are the factors of 12? 1 into 12, 2 into 6, 3 into 4. Okay. Clear?
Yes.
Then now what we need, may I know your name please? Sorry, I can't see your name. Shah, is it?
Sharvin.
Sharvin. Okay, Sharvin. So what happened here is you have plus 2x. Now what we need to do is we have to find your middle term. What is the middle term here? Minus 4x. So when you add the pairs of factors, you should be able to get minus 4. So minus 4 here is, if you add 1 and 12, you will get 13. If you get plus 1 and minus 12, you will get minus 11.
Yeah.
Or if you put minus 1 and plus 12 here, you will get plus 11. So then this pair of factors is out. Right? Then look at this, 2x and 6x. If you put plus on both of them, 2x plus 6x, you will get 8x. But we want 4x. Not
Yeah.
possible. But we can change the signs. We can put plus 2x here and put a minus here and add plus 2 plus minus 6. You're adding two numbers with different signs. Then what do? You subtract, isn't it? When you do directed numbers, when you add two numbers with different signs, you always subtract. So minus 6 and plus 2, you subtract the two numbers. 6 minus 2 is 4, and in front of the 6 you have a minus sign, and 6 is bigger than 2. So using the directed numbers rule, we put the minus 4x. So we are getting minus 4x. So this is satisfied, correct?
Yeah.
Same time, my plus 2x multiplied by minus 6. How much you're getting?
12.
Plus 2x multiplied by minus 6.
Minus 12.
Minus 12x squared, correct?
Yeah.
Minus 12x squared. So we should be able to get the same thing here also. So that is satisfying both rules, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's why we are taking plus 2x and minus 6x here.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Got it. Good. Any other questions? Any other question? Right. I want to go on to exercise 2. Exercise 2. And I want to do question number 3. Exercise 2, question number 3. Shall we do that, please? Exercise 2, question number 3. Exercise 2. Exercise 2, question number 3. Not the completing square method, just go up a bit. Let me see. Sorry, question number. Question number 2, sorry. Question number 2. Solve each quadratic equation given below by factoring. I want you to look at question number part 2. So x squared minus 21 is equal to 11. X squared minus 21 is equal to 11. Shall we do those two questions? Right, so solve each quadratic equation. This is on page, guys. Page 6. Page 6, right at the top. Solve each quadratic equation given below by factoring. Take the square root of 2 as 1.41. Square root of 2 as 1.41. And square root of 3 as 1.73. Right? Let's do question number 2. Question number 2, x squared minus 21 is equal to 11. Right? X squared minus 21 is equal to 11. So how are you going to find the factors of this? Right, so we need to find the values of x. So first what you do is you take the minus 21 to this side. So this becomes plus 21. So x squared is equal to 11 plus 21 is 32. And we want to find out what x is. X is equal to, so in order to take the square out, we need to square root on both sides. Right? We need to square root on both sides. So x is equal to plus or minus 32. Now what is the square root of 32? My goodness. Not a perfect square, no?
Yes.
So 32 is not a perfect square. How do you square root 32? So what you need to do is take 32 and start dividing by the prime numbers. Take 32 and start dividing by the prime number. You know the prime numbers. What is the first prime number?
2.
2. So divide by 2, 16. Divide by 2, 8. Yeah.
2.
Divide by 2, 4. Divide by 2, 2.
2.
Divide by 2, 1. Okay. Right. So you have 64 and 4. You can put into a pair. That's 4 multiplied by 4 into 2. So square root of 32, you can write it like this. X is equal to plus or minus 16. 4 into 4 is 16 multiplied by this 2. So 16 is a perfect square. Right? 16 is a perfect square. So square root of 16 is how much?
4.
4. So when you square root 16, this will come outside the set. So you have x is equal to plus or minus square root of 16 is 4
4.
multiplied by square root of 2. Got it? This 2 will stay inside. Now what do you do? Square root of 2, they have already given you a value. How much is that? 1.41. So you have a plus or minus. X has got two answers. So we'll take the plus first. X is equal to plus 4 multiplied by square root of 2 they have given us 1.41, which is 4 into 1.41 is how much? 1 into 4 is 4. 4 into 4 is 16. 1 into 4 is 4 plus 1, 5. So plus 5.64. That is one answer. What is the other answer? Because plus or minus, square root always plus or minus. So x is going to be equal to minus 4 into 1.41, which is going to be minus 5.64. Okay, right? So x will have two values. You can write it like this also. So therefore x is equal to plus or minus, you can write it here, 5.64. Is that clear? Any questions there?
So we don't have to make 1.4 into minus at the second one.
This one?
Yeah.
So no, square root of 2 is 1.41. Outside you're giving the plus and minus, okay? So you are
Okay.
multiplying the 4. First one you're giving by plus 4. The second one you're multiplying by minus 4. So you're anyway getting a plus and a minus answer. Got it? Any questions? Anybody wants to do any other questions in this, or shall we go on to completing squares? Anybody, any suggestions? Guys? Sorry? Sorry, I didn't hear you. Can somebody speak up, please? Everybody okay with that?
Yes, sir.
Can we go on to completing the square method?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
All right. Solving quadratic equation by the completing square method. Okay, completing square method. Right, so look at that. It says x plus 3 whole thing square. Right, so x plus 3 whole thing square. Right, so if you expand this, what do you need to write it as? X plus 3 multiplied by x plus 3, right? X plus 3 squared is x plus 3 multiplied by x plus 3, right? So x into x is x squared. X into 3x, you get 3x. X into 3x, 3x. 3 into 3 plus 9. Okay, so this, if you simplify, you're getting 6x plus 9. Okay, right. So this, in a short way also we learned how to do that. I'll just show you that also here. So x plus 3 squared, whole thing squared. How do you write, instead of doing this log method, how do you do that? You take the first term, square it. So x squared plus 2 times your first term into your second term plus your second term square. Okay, so x squared plus 2 into x is 2x, into 3 is 6x, 3 squared is 9. So you're getting the same answer. So you should be able to do both, or you should be able to arrive at this using the short method. Okay, this is something that you really need to know to save time. Okay, to save time. Right. So now you have x squared plus 6x plus 9. There is a relationship between your second term and this. Now, what is this relationship? Is what we call this completing the square method. So, what you need to do in the completing the square method is you take the second term and you divide it. That's the middle term, you divide it. So, 6 divided by 2, you're going to get 3. 6 divided by 2 is 3. And this 3, if you square it, now we're going to square this. So 6 divided by 2, that is this middle term, you divide it by 2 and square it, that is 3 to the power of 2, you're getting 9, that is this. Can you see? Right? That is the relationship between the middle term and this last term. What is the relationship? When you take the middle term, divide it by 2 and square it, you're going to get this value. You got it? Right? So, I want you to copy this down for the example one. Just I want you to copy this down for example one. I'll give you 2 minutes, copy it down. Tell me when you're done.
Okay, sir.
Good. I think everybody is okay. Right? So now just so the relationship is between the middle term and the last term. Okay, so let's do the exercise one. Just to be comfortable with this. Right? Exercise one. Exercise one. Right? First one, first question. Right? That is x squared plus 8x plus dash is equal to x plus 4 square. Right? X plus 4 square. So I need to fill in this blank. I want to fill in this blank. So how do I do
16.
that? I take the middle term, that is this 8 divided by 2 whole thing square. So 8 divided by 2 is how much? 4. 4 square is how much? 16.
16.
This will come over here. You followed? Okay. Now I'll give you the next connection, the relationship. Can you see this 4 square is the same as this over here? Right? So when you divide this middle term and square it, you're getting the last term. So in other words, if you square root this, square root of 16 is the last term over here. You follow? Okay. Right. Let's look at the next question and see if we can fill in those blanks again. Right? Next question. You have x squared minus 14x plus blank is equal to blank. So they want us to write something like this, the square term. Okay. So what is our rule? You take the middle term, minus 14 divided by 2 whole thing square. So minus 14 divided by 2 is minus 7 whole thing square. Minus 7 multiplied by minus 7 will give you plus 49. That is what is going to come here. Okay. How do you rewrite this as a square term? We know x squared. So x minus 7 will come here and square. Followed? Yeah. This minus 7, you're going to fill it in over here. Right? Okay. Right. Third question. Any questions so far? Any questions so far? Are you able to see the relationship between the middle term and the square term? Right? This you need to understand slowly. Okay. Third question. Go to the third question. They're saying x squared plus 3x plus is equal to plus space is equal to space again. Right? So what is our rule? Take the middle term and divide it by 2. So 3 divided by 2 whole thing square. So 3 into 3 is 9. 2 into 2 is 4. So you have 9 over 4 over there. Here x plus, you take this. Yeah. X plus, sorry, you take this and fill it in over here. Okay. So how much is that? 3 over 2 square. Okay. Yeah? Any questions?
No, sir.
Let's do the fourth one also. I want you to go through these fourth questions also quickly. Right? Fourth question. Let's quickly do those. Let's do the fifth one. Fifth one looks a little different. Fifth one, x plus dash squared is equal to x squared plus b squared. Right? So how are you going to fill in the blanks? We don't know the middle term. We don't know this. So we can't divide it. But we know the last term. This is b squared. The last term, which is this, we already know, which is b squared. This square is what we have over here. This one. So this b squared, we can straight away fill into this. Yeah? X squared, b squared. What is your middle term? Remember how we did the shortcut of quadratic equation? Middle term, how did we arrive at that? 2 times your first term multiplied by your second term. So your answer therefore is x squared plus 2 into x into b. 2xb plus b squared. Okay? This squared and this is the same. This squared and this is the same. At that relationship, you should be able to figure out. Okay, we don't have much time, so I just want to do one more question. Exercise 2, question number 1. Let's do that. Exercise 2, question number 1. You just have about 10 minutes. Exercise 2, question number 1. Solve the following quadratic equation by completing the square method. Right, so let's do that. Guys, can you see this blue pen? Is it clear? I just wrote. Can see? Well, my
Yes, sir.
pen, black pen has worn out. Okay. X squared plus 2x. So they have given you 5 square root of 5 as 2.23, square root of 3 as 1.73, and square root of 57 as 7.54. Right? Quadratic equation x squared plus 2x minus 35. Right? So how do you solve this? Right? So what do we need to do? You need to take the middle term, right? So that is 2 divided by 2 square root. So 2 divided by 2 is 1 square, you're getting plus 1. Okay? Now what you need to do, take x square plus 2x, take this one as plus 1 here. Okay? Plus 1, then minus 35, that is this. And since you brought a new term into this, well, completing the square method, we are going to bring this new term, this plus 1 here. But if you bring in the plus 1, this whole picture of this quadratic changes. So we wanted to keep it as it is. So, but by bringing this plus 1, we are going to put a minus 1 here. Okay, so before this, I forgot to tell you, why did we use the squaring, completing the square method? Look at this. X squared plus 2x minus 35. What is the normal way? We would have multiplied these two. X squared into minus 35 minus 35 x squared. Then we find the factors of 35. 1 into 35, 2 is not there, 3 also not there, 5 into 7. Okay? Right? 5 into 7. So now plus 2x. Now we want to get a plus 2x there. So plus 2x means this has to be plus, this has to be minus. Okay? So rewrite this x squared plus minus 5x plus 7x minus 35. Okay? Factorize, factorize. X squared divided by x is x, minus 5x divided by x is minus 5, 7x and 35 plus 7, minus 35 divided by 7 is minus 5. You're getting your stop the light, guys. That's all. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so x minus 5 into x plus 7. But square term, we want to get a square term. We want it something like this. Or we want it like x plus 7 square. But here we don't have that. That is the reason why we are doing the squaring method. Right. So now what we do, we'll take this. So x squared into 1 is x squared. Factors 1x into 1x. Okay? Right? So factor it x squared plus x plus 1 minus 36 is equal to 0. Right? Then x squared and x common factor is x squared divided by x is x divided by x is plus 1. Here x and 1 common factor plus 1, x divided by 1 is x, 1 divided by 1 is plus 1. So you have, what do you have here? X plus 1 into x plus 1 minus 36 is equal to 0. X plus 1 into x plus 1 is x plus 1 squared minus 36 is equal to 0. This is what we need. Square term. When you did this here, we did not get a square term. So that is the reason why we are doing the completing the square method. Okay. So x plus 1 squared minus 36. Now we will find out how to solve. Right? So x plus 1 squared minus 36 is equal to 0. Take the minus 36 to this side, you have plus 36. So x plus 1 is equal to 36. We want to find out what x is. We want to solve for x. So to remove the square, you have to square root on this side, square root on this side. So x plus 1 is equal to square root of 36. right? X, therefore, take the plus 1 to this side. X is equal to minus 1 plus or minus square root of 36. You followed? Now 36 is a perfect square, isn't it? 36 perfect square. How much is square root of 36, guys? Square root of 36.
6.
X is equal to minus 1 plus or minus. So plus square root of 36 is 6. So minus 1 plus 6 is plus 5. Or x is equal to minus 1 minus square root of 36 is 6. So minus 7. So plus 5 or minus 7 will be your answer. Right? I'm sorry, it's 10 o'clock. I have to let you guys go. I wanted some more to do, but about 75% we did. Right? So if there is anything else that you guys need to know, please text me. Let's see what we can do. Whether we can continue it in another seminar, or we will try to fit in another class or something like that. So that we are open to. So we'll have a discussion on that. I think 80% of the work is done. Only a little bit more of quadratic formula has to be done. That we can do. I can explain it during a revision period or when we do another seminar going forward. So we will be doing seminars every month, first week. So just to get some, y'all, any lessons that you have any doubts in. So even you can give me suggestions, sir. Next month can we do another lesson? Maybe a tough lesson, something that you have a bit of a doubt in. So then we can do a seminar on that, a lesson. Yeah, so we are open to any kind of discussion. Right. So we'll start with next week again to continue the papers, and every 3 weeks we'll be doing an online exam as well. Okay. So all right. So take care, guys. God bless, and I'll see you guys next week.
Thank you, sir. Boys.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Bye, guys.
Bye, sir.
Maybe